Hello and welcome to From Impossible to Inevitable. I am your host, Megan Bauer. Thank you so much for pushing play on today's episode and spending some time with me today. I have an experience that I want to share with you, and I wasn't previously anticipating sharing this experience on the podcast. However, I am being led today on what I should share, and this has come to my attention as something that could really encourage you. And I hope that as you listen to this experience, you take it and go find your own, okay? Because there's one there for you. So here's a little bit of background. I love creatives, and more specifically, I love entrepreneurs. Now, maybe you wouldn't put entrepreneurs in the same camp as creatives unless they're a creative entrepreneur. But the thing about entrepreneurs is that they are creative because they see possibilities, they see solutions, they see something where there wasn't something there before, and that is creation. That is a creative, and I love that. I love that energy, and I have several friends who are entrepreneurs, and I love being with them. I have one friend in particular that gives me a call every once in a while, or sometimes more often than others. I love her calls because I know she's got some idea or something that she wants to talk through, or something, and it's always so much fun. I love it. It's one of my very favorite things. And I have recently started doing branding for, maybe a rebrand if they're more established business, or branding for, starting a new business. And it has been so fun to dream up branding and possibilities with entrepreneurs. And if that's something that you need, be sure to check out my website in the link in the show notes, and read in on my Canva ready branding suite that I am doing. Anyways, beyond that, here's my experience. I had taken the girls to a play date, and I sat and chatted with the mom for about an hour, and we chatted, we talked about school, we talked about parent teacher conferences that just happened, we talked about, you know, this, that, and the other, her house plants, and the beautiful view, blah, blah. We talked about all sorts of stuff for about an hour. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna let the girls play, I'll be back. And um, you know, great. Lovely lady. I love her. She's awesome. Her daughter is the cutest. Every time her daughter sees me on campus, she's like, hi. And I'm like, oh my gosh, hi, you're so cute. Okay. Anyways, so I leave, I go, I do some work, I come back, and she and I are standing in the foyer. We're not seated at the couches this time, we're standing in the foyer. And she reminds me of a time, it was probably about a year ago ish, when we were at a different setting, and she had told me about a business that she wanted to start. And at that time, it was a desire on her heart. It wasn't something that she had been actively doing. And then when we were standing there in the foyer, she's like, I quit my job 2 weeks ago, and I'm really jumping in on this, and I'm so freaked out, blah, blah. I got so excited, and I started asking questions, and I was like, it wasn't that I was disengaged when we were chatting on the couch. I was just like this nice, reserved, oh, I'm a nice mom. And but when we were chatting in the foyer, I was hyper focused. I wasn't caring that the girls weren't coming down to leave like they were supposed to. I actually kind of preferred them to stay away because I was so engaged in this conversation. And she would say something, and I would literally uncontrollably start clapping and bouncing on the balls of my feet because I was so excited for her and so excited about this venture. And I was so completely engaged in this conversation. All of my senses were right there. I wasn't looking at her super sweet, cute dog. I wasn't looking around her house. I wasn't thinking about anything else. I was tunnel visioned on what she was talking about and what she was telling me. I was asking questions and I was so into it. And we probably stood there for about 20 minutes and chatted about her new venture. And I just I noticed in myself that there was this nice version of me sitting on the couch carrying a polite conversation. And then there was this completely engaged, so excited, so connected version of me that she had tapped into by talking about her new entrepreneurial adventure. And this was really an eye-opening experience to me because it was practically the same location, the same person, the same day. All of these other factors were the same. The difference was our topic of conversation. And I had already started the branding for, entrepreneurs. And so I already knew I loved working with entrepreneurs. That was something I already knew. However, this experience really highlighted to me how much I love it, how much it aligns with me, how much it brings me to life. Because I was alive sitting on the couch, of course, but I wasn't brought to life in quite the same way as when I was bouncing on the balls of my feet and clapping my hands because I was so excited and I couldn't even control myself. And I wasn't putting on a show. There was no nothing to it. It was all so genuine, all from my heart, this uncontrolled excitement for her and her new adventure. And, I was asking questions, I was offering suggestions. I was like, we should get together sometime and we can sit at the table. And, if I had known, if that had come up in our hour of conversation, I probably would have gone out to the car and got my laptop and come back in and spent the whole 3 hours there chatting with her because that is where I wanted to be. And on our way home, the girls were talking like they always do. They are quite chatty. And my oldest said something and she's like, Mom, and then she said, Mom. I responded, yeah. And then she said something. And then I realized she stopped talking. And I realized I was still mentally in that conversation with her friend's mother. And I said to her, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that? I didn't hear anything you just said. I was physically there. I was physically driving, but my mind was still in that conversation with her. And I hadn't been that level distracted by something in a long time. And so it was really, really eye-opening to me how the energy, the level of focus slash distraction. And mind you, I'm not a part of her business. I'm not, if she hires me to do her branding, that'd be great. And I'd love that. However, I was emotionally invested in that 20-minute conversation that kept me gleefully distracted for I don't know how long after, but afterwards. And I loved that. I love that energy. And I decided when I was right there in the car, I was like, I want to spend as much of my life as possible uncontrollably bouncing on the balls of my feet and clapping my hands because that is when I feel the most alive. So I told you at the beginning of this episode, I want you to keep your eyes open that you can have the same experience. And maybe yours isn't bouncing on the balls of your feet and clapping your hands. Maybe that's something special to me, but there's something out there for you that gets you that level excited, that level invested, that level distracted even, that you would spend your time completely zoned in on this one thing. And that one thing will make you feel so alive. It will make you feel like, all right, I'm not just existing, like I am living because this is awesome. Like this is the best. This is where I want to be. And I would put out an invitation to you to find that and then strive to be in that place as much as you possibly can. Because why not? Once you find that thing, why wouldn't you want to spend as much time as you possibly can there in that place? I loved this experience because it really reaffirmed to me my desire of working with entrepreneurs and being in that space, being around their energy, hearing their ideas, contributing my own ideas and my own experiences, and contributing to their business in a tangible way. I mean, branding's a big deal because it carries a lot of unspoken subconscious meaning from the tone and the vibe and all of this, and it's so much fun to create for somebody. So it really highlighted to me, okay, this is the work that I have, that I get to do, and these are the people that I get to work with. And that's just so exciting to me. It's so exciting. So anyways, there is something out there for you. There really is. I promise you there is. You have to have the courage to find it, and you have to have the courage to allow yourself to shed maybe the I'm a nice mom sitting on your couch vibe, and maybe bounce on the balls of your feet and clap your hands. Because when you feel that desire, you'll know you found it, because you can't just do it. Like, I don't just bounce on the balls of my feet and clap my hands unless I'm really excited. Like, genuinely in my soul, I'm 100% right here, so excited. And she felt that. She knew. She was like, "Thank you so much for your excitement for me." She was kind of taken aback because, I mean, she just sat with me for an hour and I displayed no such thing. But we were just chatting. I mean, like, I can just chat with anybody and call it a good time. This was different because it connected with me on such a different level. So she got a much more genuine, much more, not that I was being ingenuine, but she got a very raw, real part of me when we went into that conversation. And that's so exciting. And there's a gem in there for you. There's a gem in there for you to go find and live as much time as you can being there, because it's so good. It's so good. All right. I hope you enjoy this experience that I never anticipated sharing on the podcast. However, I hope that it inspires you to go find that thing if you don't know what it is. And if you do know what it is, go after it. Go be in that place. Go put yourself with those people. Go put yourself in that situation as much as you can. And if this is my parents listening in and that thing is the grandkids, you are welcome to them. Come be with them. Come babysit them. Come take them. Just playing, kind of. Not really. Anyways, thank you for joining me today on this heartfelt episode. I hope you find that thing for you, because it's the best feeling ever. And yeah, I wish you all the best. Until next time, bye for now.